And we go to Awapuni and catch up with Bevan Sweeney, a man who I'm pretty sure is keen to see the sun, keen to see the tracks drying out, and what's a pretty important race day. A very good morning to you, Bevan.
Yeah, good morning to Greg, and to the Punters Lounge viewers. Welcome into Awapuni under beautiful skies, and this weather has just been fantastic through the week, so the track has come into that dead 4 rating and been out and had a walk on it. Feels perfect. Of course, we have the Courtesy Ford Red Crows Bowl today and the Rico Fielding Gold Cup. So the Cup leading into races like the Wanganui Cup, the Awapuni Gold Cup, and then into probably the Wellington Cup Carnival, if not the Auckland Cup in time. So it is an important meeting, and it's just great to have a bit of sun on the back. Greg, the weather, I think tomorrow is the suggestion. We're going to get 30 degrees in places across the country. So these tracks are coming right, and that just makes it a tick easier to get the form right.
Yeah, it certainly does. Let's have a look at race number 5. The first race we'll preview with you. PGG writes in this one. Favourite is Lincoln Raider for Hazel Chauffeur, claiming the 3.20 and 1.55. One prize, one goal at $8.50. And then we go further down the page to find Gerda at $9 and $7 about Portland Jimmy. Let's get to Stephen Hunt, though, for your thoughts around race number 5 and where the money is going here. Stephen?
Headed by Lincoln Raider, Greg. Drawn an awkward gate at $3.20. I think it's found its bottom mark. I don't think it'll start any shorter than $3, so $3.20 happy to trade currently on the favourite. Portland Jimmy, who comes off the bench, notable runner, well supported in particular first few hours this morning, got its price from $9.50 down to $7. A lot of traction around Portland Jimmy. One prize, one goal in that third line of betting, well spec'd also, $9.50 into $8.50. And Gerda, interesting enough, well supported, resuming here. I think Des Coppins tipped this out on Radio Trackside a few hours ago. Des did around Gerda, Greg, and I think it's won a couple of jump outs going to this race, so you can back Gerda with a little bit of confidence. And outside that, there has been a $700 bet we accepted on Harlem & Co. at $61. Now, there's been a couple of scratchings to get that price, deductions down to $26, but notably a pretty big liability around Harlem & Co.
Let's go back to Bevan Sweeney. Got a couple of videos for us to have a look at shortly, but here is the map. Portland Jimmy to get out early along with Stand Tall, but Lincoln Raider and Gerda, both horses that we need to keep a very close eye on here, Bevan.
Yeah, very close eye, Greg, very, very close eye. I think Lincoln Raider is a horse who is going to be well past 72 grade by the time they wrap up this campaign. Look, it couldn't have been quite a run on debut at Hawara. You see this horse back last. Now, it never really pulls out to the centre of the track to make its run until 3/4 of the way down the home straight. Was soft this day in condition. The leaders have kicked very, very strongly at this point in the race, and you see this horse not coming across heels until very late in this particular race, in the last bit of his work. I think that suggests that this horse is coming up very, very well, and they will have some reasonable sort of targets in mind for this horse. I mapped it with good to strong tempo, especially with Portland Jimmy being in the race now, coming in off the bench. You mentioned Stand Tall as a go-forward horse. Platinum Volis I thought might go forward. Rather Gold is another speed influence in the race. So I thought he would get his opportunity at home second up to really put in a run, and I really did like him today. He is, in my opinion, the best horse in this particular race. Gerda is a nice horse as well. It was a horse that really cleaned them up at Otaki on debut. Now, yes, it has been very good at the jump outs in recent times. Tongue tie going on. Emma Davies trained out of New Plymouth. The gate again is tricky, but showed a lot of ability this first preparation. It will be back as well, so they may be flying in the finish. And it just will depend on what sort of tempo we do get early on in this particular race. But a very talented 5-year-old mare by Denman for Emma Davies, and you see there going to the line quite hard, held late in that particular race, has a lot of ability. Just in my opinion, Lincoln Raider has a length or so on Gerda going forward. Gerda will get through the grades as well. So Lincoln Raider is on top for sure, and it is a play for mine on the program. A very, very talented horse. Gerda's in for second. Portland Jimmy, well, we know his abilities when he's right, and he's looked okay at the trials in preparation for today. And Stand Tall may just get a nice soft run in behind the speed if they keep coming from wide, and from there, I think this is a pretty talented horse as well for Ralph Manning. So I mark the 1, 15, 17 and 8 in race number 5.
All right, also to be taken into account, Bevan's first selection, 2 goes, second up. won both of those. One start at the track for a win. Plenty of ticks in that box. Let's have a look at the Red Craze Bowl with Courtesy 4. Now, this is the race that was won last year by Ocean Emperor, and Gary Hennessy is giving a service fee valued at $7,000 to the winner of the race. So nice work there. Thanks to Aidan Rodley for passing on that information. Darscape Princess, $3.80, $7 about Dark Princess, Tinkerlicious, $5.50 Shadows Cast, who Stephen Hunt is carrying the grandstand today with 63 kilos.
Yeah, not totally friendless, I have to say, around Shadows Cast. We've accepted a $500 bet this morning at a $6 price to get its price back into $5.50, its opening line. Starting at the top of the box, Darscape Princess, $3.40, drifted to $3.80. Maybe punters just a little bit concerned from that draw and where it maps around Darscape Princess. Overall, it's a fantastic betting race. A number of horses that have been well supported during the weekend today, Greg. Dark Princess, out of these horses I mentioned that have been well supported, this is the one that's gone out the door, $5.50 out to $7. Again, best figures over a mile. It sees 1,400 today, and from that draw, again, maps on an average stake, does Dark Princess. Tinkerlicious has been well supported to back up its win a few weeks ago, $9.50 into $7. Lady Cartel, a pace influencer from Barrier 2, well supported. You could have got double figures, now trading at $9. And back in a flash, even though it's come in a point, there is a little bit of concern on the better track about that particular runner. But Over the River, who's had 23 wins next to his name, well spec, 23 into 16. So no strong lead in this particular race. The fact that maybe a little bit of coldness around Darscape Princess and Dark Princess is the big talking point.
Let's have a look at where the speed is likely to come from here. And Bevan, that's not telling us much at all.
Well, it just tells me there's enough speed for Darscape Princess to get home from back in this particular race. I thought this was a race they'll run strongly with the Bandito, Salamanca, Tinkerlicious on speed type of runner, Shadows Cast, even with the car park, he'll push forward and hold an inside position. And then you've got Lady Cartel in the mix to really put some extra speed into the race. So I'm not too worried about the draws for these two. Darscape Princess especially. Dark Princess will more than likely get bet. Stephen's right, mile better, 1,400 metres. I think okay though. You go back to the run at Hastings 2 ago, it was a little bit unlucky not to be closer to Melody Bell. Didn't get all favours on that occasion and didn't have a lot of luck over the mile as well. So it does, when you look at the form line, suggest this is a very tough horse to beat. Now, Darscape Princess is a Group 1 horse. We didn't see it last season. There was a niggle with her and she never really showed her best. This is Lady Cartel, Henny and Darscape Princess in the Taranaki breeders. I'm not against Henny today. I thought she was really unlucky in this particular race. Now, Darscape Princess, Secret Allure were back last. Rosie comes through and then Jonathan's forced to go wide. The last bit of her work, very, very good and suggesting that she's back to her best. Lady Cartel, it was a really strong gallop from a horse that's had a significant injury and they've been able to nurse her through this preparation, just getting some black type for her. Darscape Princess really good. Henny a little unlucky back towards the inside and yeah, Darscape Princess just caught my eye. If she's back to her best, she gets track conditions to suit today. In a race with good, strong tempo, she gets the 1,400 metres, second up. I understand she's flying. I'm not going to go away from her. I've been a fan. Obviously, last season she was pretty disappointing when we expected her to more than likely pick up a Group 1. Well, things just didn't go right for her physically. So never really coming up in Fraser's mind. He thinks this preparation, different horse. So I'm going to go with her. Dark Princess form line, too strong to a north. So I'm probably against the market. Henny, respect here on a horse who has been very good in black type. You've seen her down your way on more than one occasion, Greg, and she's been very, very good, and she hasn't had many favours in the last couple of starts. And then we look towards the 10 in the book. That being Lady Cartel, I'm not going to dismiss her. She is due respect on that performance at Harwater, but look, Group 1 horses 3 and 7, so they're going to be my two top selections in the race, and I think Darscape Princess should be taking this race very, very close.
Henny, the one for me. Yeah, right, I've seen her plenty of times. She loves Riccarton. She's won about 300,000. So, yeah, she looks a good each-way chance after that luckless performance last time. 72-2200 is race number 8 on the program, where Ripcord is the 320 favourite. Just ahead, Stephen, of Sanchez here, 440, and What's Up, $4.60. A
market dominated by one particular runner, and that's number 6, Sanchez. Greg. 440 there off a peak of $4.80 and accounts around about 70% of total turnover. Now look, the interesting runner is number 8 Ripcord, who's been punted off the map in all-in markets for New Zealand Cup. 41's now currently trading at $12, but its SP price its last 2 starts have been ridiculous. Backing up from last Monday, $5 into $2.40 from memory around Ripcord, so it'll be interesting to see where that price ends up. On the favourite, Rosie Myers does the riding. And what's up? Not friendless, not going to put off punters, even though Sanchez dominates the market. Well supported, 5 into 460. Outside that, it's friendless, nothing of note.
Let's have a look at the speed for this, and we expect Love to Keep him to go forward along with FaceTime. And yeah, when the money comes for a Harvey Wilson runner, whether it be on the flat or over the fences, there's always total respect, Bevan.
There is. And we're going to bring you the video of this horse's fresh up performance at the 1600 metres. Now, I didn't give him due respect with the turn of foot he's actually got. I thought he was more of a grinding star and a nice horse, probably with another preparation on board for some cups. But watch this run. He is winding up and just winding up beautifully, sectionally outstanding on the day, this performance. And look, he just needs to be worked on. And I know Jonathan rates this horse right up at the top of the tree when he gets up over a trip. He'll be fit enough. That's an outstanding performance, fresh up over 1600 metres from a staying horse. And look, if he doesn't get in a decent cut in time, I'll go, hey, I think he's a very exciting star for Harvey Wilson, who's just been so patiently handled. He's a 5-year-old gelding at just start number 7 now. He's won 2, outstanding fresh up. I've got no doubts he'll step up to the trip beautifully. Second up, I've got no worries with Harvey being the trainer. He'll be presented as they always are, beautifully, and fit enough to run out the 2200 metres. He's on top. The other horse we need to look at is Ripcord. Look, maybe it's just a case we wait till Rickett and Greg on this particular horse. I think all roads lead there. As Stephen mentioned, all in markets, this horse has been backed in the New Zealand Cup off the mat. It was some move on this day, on Monday. The money just came from everywhere. Rosie rode him back, which is not the greatest of places to Tarapa, clearly, historically, in the last couple of years, but he's still changing lead leg and trying to find the line, and he does hit it nicely late in that particular race. He's going the right way, but I've just been told, and behind the scenes, wait for the New Zealand Cup. I expect more money to come for him because the Ripcord New Zealand Cup money was about early, and they just continued to back him. So I think he'll start favourite. I'm going to favour Sanchez over him. The other two I really like in this race. What's Up adds another speed influence into the race because he's just so difficult to handle. Blinkers come off him today. That might change his mojo and he might just settle a little bit better. But if he over races again, he'll put extra speed into this race, What's Up. But he just tries his heart out and he'll be winning races. And look, maybe the smoky in the race is Humble Pie, who I thought was really good behind Junior at Hawera last time. Unlucky behind Typical prior to that. Runs in the very familiar colours of Adrian Bull, getting weight off its back. We'll get right down to that 51.5, so I'll give it an each way chance. But just got a feeling that the Sanchez might be a horse you can follow into some really decent races, maybe with one more preparation on board.
Yeah, nothing to dislike about his last start performance. A Ripcord currently a $10 chance in the Christchurch Casino New Zealand Cup. If he delivers today, then he may well be favourite for that race. Let's have a look at the Fielding Cup. This with Rico and Hi, I'm Nikita. Certainly been in wonderful form. Been up a wee while, but as we spoke to Robert Hannam earlier about, just keeps on delivering terrific performances. $3.50 has won 4 of her last 10 and 10 races in this campaign. She's only missed a place once. Nymph Monte, bit of sentiment around this one, $6.50. Tom's the same, and Strolling Vagabond an $8 chance. Stephen, Korakanui also well backed at $8.52. So, gee, there's a few in the market here.
Yeah, look, these cup races produce a really good betting race over the last 12 to 18 months, and no difference here, Greg. Led by Hi, I'm Nikita, just waiting for this horse to hit a brick wall. It's been up a long, long time, but gee, she just keeps delivering for customers and for her owners. Hi, I'm Nikita opened at $4. A decent move this morning. She has been the most popular runner this morning in the Fielding Gold Cup to get her price down to $3.50 and be a dominant favourite come close. Nymph Monte at $6.50. Tom's also in that second line of betting at 6.5. And Strolling Vagabond, nice little move, 9 into 8. All of those three runners matching dollar for dollar without another clear second lead. A little bit of specking around Korokanui. Got as short as $8, just back out 8.5. Another lightweight horse. Lisa Allpress doing the riding. Duplicity, interesting runner. We talk about the New Zealand Cup. And Ripcord, I think this horse will be targeting New Zealand Cup. It's quite friendless for today, 13 out to 16. And a little bit of specking for the old boy, Jack Star, drawing the ace. Gary Vole, Dylan Turner, combo here, 21. Got as short as $18, now trading at 21. Currently a losing liability.
All right, what about the speed for the Ricoh Fielding Gold Cup of 2019? Call Me Royal for Teresa Mitchell to go forward. My Gift's been racing well again. Hi, I'm Nikita. Just around Nymph Monty and the passing of his strapper, Paul Guys. I think there'll be a bit of sentiment today, and sometimes it works, Bevan, and I'm pretty sure there'll be plenty of people on course hoping that Nymph Monty can go a good race today.
Yeah, and I'm certainly one of those for Grant Nicholson. It was a terrible experience for the team at Opaki early this week. I've seen a few of them today after his funeral, and I can assure you they sent him off in style, Greg. They were a little bit slow this morning, and they gave him a really good send-off yesterday. So tragic news coming out early in the week, and yep, sentiment will be with Nymph Monty. The boys on the gates have got black armbands on in his honour here this afternoon, and he can do it. I just want him to flop out the back, Greg. I don't want him touched early. He was niggled out of the gates at Hawara, and then he over races and he just doesn't finish off. You just have to let this horse sit. Let him sit, get on the back of something coming into the race, and he has the best turn of the foot in this race of these stars. I don't think there's any doubt about that, but he is a little bit finicky. If things go slightly wrong, you just do not see the right horse. But let's just hope and pray that things go right for him this afternoon. A couple of videos to show you here. First and foremost, Tom's. I think this horse has been set for this race. Now, he was a horse who really came to what we expected of him last season. Now, every sign he's given this time in is that he is coming up as well, if not better, this time in. The run at Hastings over the 1600 metres was really good late, and it took Collins Street, who I think may just start close to the top line of betting in an Auckland Cup if he keeps going this way, because he's flying, and Tom's is just getting through the gears as he had the way up towards the inside, and he is flying Collins Street. So that's a nice performance from Tom's. Maybe they thought they might get a little bit less weight in this particular race. The top rate is Jack Sarah at 87, so it gets in with a 57, which is probably a little bit of a surprise and more they expected, but I think he's a chance. But there's a host of chances, to be honest with you, in the race, and Haim Nikita is the top of the tree, because this horse hasn't copped a draw forever. The win here at Awapuni a couple of runs ago was hard to believe, because it was 3-4 wide the entire trip and just kept on rolling and won dominantly late in that particular race. This race, Robbie drops his whip right there and he's got nothing to get at her, and she just does what she does and tries absolutely every ounce of her energy to the line. She'll get a draw today. She gets a soft sitting behind them. Yes, she's been up for a long time, I agree, but she's had her races really well spaced, and so I think that's what's kept her there throughout this preparation. I think she's tough to beat. I think Tom's is a major player. Strolling Vagabond has done nothing wrong since heading to Stephen Marsh's stable, and well capable, and should be able to get across, maybe outside lead, and then another couple of horses come across and put her in a very sweet position. I think she's a player in the race, and then Nymph Monte's in there. He's just one of those sort of horses, if things go slightly wrong, then he doesn't finish off, but everything's crossed, that he just gets everything goes way today, Greg, and we see the real Nymph Monte, because he is a very sharp stayer.
Yeah, he certainly is that. Right, that's the feature of the day, but the last race is an extremely wide open affair away from Sir Nate, who's been in very good form, but a strong hand here for Lisa Ladder. Sir Nate comes out of those 2 runs at the Bay, the latest of those beaten a length behind Cutting Up Rough. 270, 138, 420 and 220 on the each way for Jonathan Parks. Father Lenehan we saw winning earlier in that segment, 11s and $3.50. Atlanta Peach at 420 and Ruby Love at $9.50. I reckon there might be a few multis throughout the day, might end up finishing on Sir Nate here. Stephen, am I far from the mark?
I think you're bang on. Well, that's in the in the favour of the customers, hoping so, Greg, not for us here in Petone. But look, the overall moves in this particular market are slightly deceptive, with some notable scratchings and deductions around Beyond the Ford and Portland Jimmy. If they were in this mix, they would have been in the top 4 in betting. But headed by the Sir Nate, interesting runner, $2.70. Just not sure where his price is going to end up, with a couple of key scratchings, which I've already touched on. But currently trading at $2.70. Atlanta Peach, roughly double their investment on Atlanta Peach v Sir Nate. So there's your slight lead come the last. Ruby Love in that third line of betting, $9.50. Pretty solid without a huge amount of action around Ruby Love. A couple they are willing to spec, number 13, Big Ben, drawn barrier 3 with that claim. That will be a horse that will go forward. You'd think see it in the first 2 or 3 and running on the quick backup from Monday. And also Rock Island Line. I know there's a big syndicate involved, as there tends to be with the Go Racing horses, but there has been a bit of a mover, 16 to 14, and that's on the back of some deductions. So a notable move in the middle market.
Yeah, good race the last, isn't it, with Atlanta Peach coming out of those Group 1s behind Melody Bell. Speed here, Irish Cool, Father Lenihan, Big Ben, and Centre Attention likes to roll along too, Bevan.
Yeah, I thought this would be run really strongly early, as you can see from those 4 green runners, and then I think the speed might really suck out of this race with those host of back markers. And once they get there, they may just slow up here, but I think the speed will certainly be on early. So over the 1,600 metres, you'd hope that horses will be able to find the right spots. I'm not sure what to make of this particular performance, because Jay Riddell could not have given Sir Nate a better run in transit in this particular race. He comes to the inside, you think, well, he's running in the money. He's got to run in the money with what he did at the prior start. And then just the last little bit, you think, well, he should have done a little bit better. Yes, the Baker and Forsman horse flashes through and runs a race, and he's still getting to the line okay, but with the run he got, I thought, well, he'll just get through there, and he runs in the money, and maybe it was second up, or maybe it was third up, and maybe today we see the absolute best of Sir Nate, but I think he's too short. I really think he's too short in this particular market for mine. He's a well-capable horse of winning this particular race. His draw's a little bit awkward. He's not an overly big horse, but the mile suits him. He's at home. Maybe he needs a little bit more dig out of the track as well, just to help him. So I'm going to go with the Group 1 form line. Atlanta Peach is a very exciting horse. Guys spoken at times about needing a bit of cut out of the track for this horse as well, but disproved that really at its most recent performances. So it's on top. Sir Nate for second. Big Ben, well, he's big in body and he's big in heart, so he'll keep on digging on. Rock Island Line, he's hitting the line nicely, but it's the one price I'm a little bit uncomfortable with at that sort of level on Sir Nate, so maybe he'll get a little bit longer. I'm not sure what Steve thinks, but he seems to be short enough in this particular race with Atlanta Peach paying over the $4 mark. So I put Atlanta Peach on top of the Group 1 form, Greg.
Yeah, have to agree with you there, Bevan. What about strategy-wise? You've got $100 to play with here. How do we play it at Awapuni today?
Well, there's a horse that I really like today, and it's called Talenti for Guy Larry. I think it was the 3rd quickest sectional on the day, fresh up at Hawke's Bay over the 1,200 metres. 1,400 metres, I'd like to mole, but 1,400 metres, draw's a bit tricky, so I'll have to come from back, but he's really going places, this horse. I thought Fiona on the first is actually great value on that debut. It's a lovely family for Sylvia Cave. So I'm going to put on a $100 Trixie, any two, all to win. Race 4, Talenti, loving Lincoln Raider, loving Sanchez. So it's going to be the strategy. If we get 2 of those up, we'll have a little bit of collect. But I'm looking forward to this Talenti. He's got a lot of ability, and I'll be interested to see if they've taken much money on him. I know the Te Akau horses come in quite a bit, Scottish Star, so I thought you were getting a really great price around this particular horse at over $4.